If you own a house in Ontario, your backyard might be your biggest moneymaker. And most people have no idea what they're allowed to build back there. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to explain to you what an ADU is, who usually qualifies, and what are the three things that will decide whether your project is easy or impossible to do. Hi, guys. My name is Elijah from Grassland Makeovers, and we've been building and renovating homes across the GTA. And right now, a huge number of homeowners are asking the same question. Can I build a small second home on my property? Legally, obviously. The short answer to that is often yes, but the details depend on your city and on your property. There's a lot of things that you have to consider: setbacks, easements, the property itself, the city that you're in, and many other different things. So let's get started. An ADU is basically a small extra home on your property. People call them garden suites, laneway homes, backyard suites. It's basically the same idea: a legal second unit that can be used for rental income, aging parents, adult kids, or it just could be for, personal use, whether it's a home office, a gym, or, for future resale value, especially if you're an investor, you want to increase rental revenue or income, you build a secondary unit on your property instead of going and buying another property elsewhere. So here's the part that nobody tells you. Most people don't get stuck because of the design. They get stuck because of the rules, the logistics, and the regulations. So instead of boring you with the legal wording, here are three things that decide almost every ADU project. Number one, do you physically have room? First one is simple: space. Do you actually have enough room in your backyard once you account for distance from the property lines, distance from the main house, and space to walk to the back? A lot of people look at their backyard and go, oh, yeah, easy. Then we measure it and realize you're actually really tight. So here's a quick tip for you. If your yard is already cramped with a deck, the shed, the pool, or even trees, your usable space shrinks really fast. Okay, let's get to point number two. Can people reach it safely? So, in essence, second is access, meaning, can you get to the unit and can emergency services access the backyard if needed? This is where people get surprised because it's not just can you build it, it's also, is there a clear path to your backyard? Can you get materials in and out? Can the city approve it from a safety standpoint? So if your side yard is super narrow or the only way back is through the house, your project may still be possible, but it changes the design and the cost, unless it's a laneway home. Point number three, there's the services. And what I mean by that is water, sewer, power, and sometimes gas. So these are really important things to take into consideration, right? And oftentimes, the city does not allow you to connect it directly to city lines. So you have to connect it to the existing primary structure or primary unit on a lot. And that oftentimes is your house, right? So this requires a lot of digging, a lot of plumbing work, electrical work, so on and so forth. So, building the structure is one thing, but connecting it to the property is another cost. Here's a simple rule: the more digging and upgrading you need, the more expensive it gets. If you're watching this thinking, I want an ADU, start by asking yourself, to have the space, access, and services. And if you do, you're already ahead of 90% of people. So, there are common mistakes that I want you guys to consider. And let me save you months of headaches. So, here are quick mistakes I see all the time. Mistake number one: people design first and check rules later. Don't do that. Rules first, design second. Mistake number two: people assume Ontario rules are the same in every city. They're not. Toronto is different than Mississauga, Oakville is different than Burlington, and Hamilton is different from St. Catherine. It's the same province, but different rule books. Mistake number three: people forget the invisible costs: the digging, the upgrade, the permits, the drawings, the utility connection. All that stuff costs a lot of money. So, what should you do next? If you're serious, here's your next step checklist: measure your backyard thoroughly. Check if you have a clear path to your backyard. And assume servicing will be a real line item, not an afterthought. Then check your city rules before you fall in love with the design first. I don't want you to do that. And for that reason, I've compiled together an Excel sheet that breaks down everything that you need to know about ADUs per city across the entire GTA, including Ottawa as well, that would give you an edge over anyone else thinking of building an ADU. It has pretty much everything that you need to know, from setbacks to zoning to regulation to parking spots to coverage of the lot to all of that stuff. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is one of the very first few episodes that I'm going to be making on ADUs. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.